Hey guys, this is UBR Tech back with another video. Today's video is going to be how to remove the extractor and firing pin for a Kimber Micro CDP. This is the 380 version. Before we get started, I'd like to ask everybody to please subscribe. Every subscriber helps. Thanks, and let's get back to the video. So the things you're going to need to accomplish this is something thin like this, because you're going to have to get into some small areas. 3mm punch. And then you're also going to need some patches. And that's basically it. So before we do anything, like always, we're going to make sure that we're clear. And so how you do that is pushing this button right here. This will release the mag. And then what we're going to do is we're still not safe. We're going to basically push forward in this hand and pull back on the slide with this hand. And you can see that we are clear. Okay? So how we break down this gun is we take our fingers and we wrap it around the top, and then this half circle we want to make sure that it's right over here. So we're going to wrap over, and just like that, then we're going to pull this slide lock out, set that aside, release your finger slowly, then push forward. You can put this part down, and then what we're going to do is take out the recoil spring and then take out the barrel. And that is it. Now you have the slide broken down. So right here, this is the back of the firing pin, and this is the extractor, and we're going to remove both. So how I do it is I take the 3mm punch, I push this in all the way, and then until it like kind of stops, and then I tilt it down like this. I tilt the punch downward, and what that does is you see how it moved the back plate downward, and it captures the spring-loaded firing pin downward. So then what I do is I take the punch and I put it above this little area, because this wasn't here before. So let me just do that again. See how it's flush up here? You're going to push in and you're going to push down like that, and then see how it captures it again. So then you're going to take the punch and you're going to slide this little back door plate downward. Before I pull this back plate totally out, I'm going to put my thumb over this area just like this, because the firing pin is spring loaded and I don't want it shooting out. So there you go. Put that down. I felt it hit my thumb, and then just tilt it over, and there's your firing pin with the spring. Set that aside. Now because I had the slide like this, the extractor fell down, and all you're going to do is you're just going to tilt it back up, and there you go. There's your extractor. So I just cleaned everything, so that's why everything looks nice and clean. Yours is probably going to look pretty dirty. So what I do from here to clean everything is I take one of the patches and I fold it up. So I fold it up just like this, and then I place the one end over the hole where the firing pin came out of, and I take the pick and I pretty much just push that in, and I feed it into that hole. Just like that. And then I kind of rotate it around. You're not going to have that much play, so it's just, you're just going to roll it around like that. And then what you could do is you could twist it, and then when you pull it out, there you go. Like I said, I just cleaned this, that's why it doesn't look dirty. And then also you do the same thing, you roll up another one, right? And you keep going in there until you get the patches coming out clean like this. So when you want to clean the extractor, you do the same exact thing. You roll it up just like this. You put it right in this hole. This is where the extractor goes. Take your pick and feed that through. Now the difference between this and where the firing pin goes is that you can't feed this all the way through the slide for the firing pin, but for the extractor you can. So we're going to keep pushing this in. We're going to feed it all the way in until we can go all the way to the other side. just like that. And again, yours is going to come out really dirty. I know when I just cleaned this, literally right before I filmed this video, I was cleaning this and the patches were coming out extremely dirty. So you're going to want to keep doing that over and over until it comes out clean like this. Okay, and so before we put everything back together, what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we wipe everything down. So we're going to wipe down the extractor. You know, you could take your patches and wipe all this stuff down. Again, you can see this is really clean. Same thing with the firing pin. You take the spring off and just wipe everything down and try to get all of the fouling off. When you're done that, then we could put everything back together. Put the spring back over the firing pin, and that's it. So how we're going to put everything back together: take your spring and the firing pin. The spring goes in first into this hole right here, and it just lays there just like that. Then we're going to take our extractor, and this is the claw that pulls the spent casing out, so that has to face on the inside of the slide, so it's going to go in like this. Now the goal here is to match up this area right here with this area right here. So when you put the extractor in, the claw faces the open area right here of that hole, and you're going to slide that in. You're going to slide the extractor into the slide until this area matches up with this area right here, and it's going to look something like this, like that. And the other thing you're going to make sure is that this is flush with the opening, just like that. And the other thing I do is I keep my pinky right here, so this way the extractor doesn't fall all the way through and it's easier to line up. So again, we're just going to match it up, make sure it's lined up perfectly. Then we're going to take the back plate and we're going to slide it through. So the one with the numbers and stuff like that, that's going to be facing the slide, and the side without the numbers and everything are going to be facing outward. So what we do is we take the back plate and we slide it into this opening right here and this opening right here. So these two areas. And it looks like this when you're doing it. Just like that. Now the goal here is to compress the spring for the firing pin and push forward with your thumb. So we're going to compress it, and we're going to make sure that everything lines up, and there you go. Now the firing pin is captured back onto the back plate. Your extractor is captured correctly. You can see that the extractor also is right here where that little claw is, and that's it. So now we can put everything back together. So let's put our barrel back in just like this. Now one thing to note before we go any further, this area right here is what we're going to capture with this pin right here, and this is your slide lock. So when we put everything back together, we're going to be looking to line up some holes, and it's going to be this area along with the grip module. Now that we have our barrel back in, we're going to put our recoil spring in. We're going to put this part of the spring into this hole right here, just like that. Push in and push it downward like that. So this way it's fit just right. Then we're going to take these two rails right here and here, and we are going to feed them into this area and that area. And I'll show you how that looks. Just like that. So as soon as we get back to this part, we're going to make sure that we push this piece downward so it's captured by the slide. So since I pushed it down, I'm pulling the slide back and it captures that piece and pushes it down and keeps it down. At this point, we're going to slide the slide to the rear, but this half circle is going to go over right here just like that. You're going to feel this little click. You could kind of see how it like just clicks in. And once you do that, you're going to kind of tilt it to the floor. The tip of the barrel is going to be tilted to the floor, so this way the barrel comes out. I want to be really clear on what the goal is here. So you can see I'm moving the barrel right here, right? So as I move the barrel within this hole, you can see there's a silver piece moving back and forth. Well, that silver piece is part of the barrel. And so we have to capture the barrel in the right position. And how we do that is, you could see this silver piece, it sort of looks like roundish inside there. So we're going to kind of line that up with the grip module circle. And then we're going to take our slide lock, and this part right here is the pin for this circle. So what we're going to do is we're going to insert this pin into the circle once we have the barrel lined up like we do right now, because you could see right through. See, you could see right through it. And then the other thing you're going to do is this piece right here, where my finger is pointing to, that is going to go through this half circle right here. So like I said, we're going to feed this through and see how it's going to feed right into that half circle. And we're going to push inward just like that. And then we're going to let the slide go forward, and we're back together. So now what I do is I do a function test. I pull the slide a few times. I take the safety off by pushing down on that lever, point the gun in a safe direction, and then pull the trigger. And everything seems to be functioning perfectly. Insert the magazine, and that is it. So congratulations, you've taken the firing pin and extractor out of your Kimber Micro CDP and put it back together. Guys, if you felt this video was helpful, please give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.